Hey, it's Matt from ROCK4X4 here, recording for my channel Red Dog 4x4. We're going to Loveday 4x4 Adventure Park today. We're glad you could join us. Me and some of the guys from ROCK4X4, we're going out to have some fun, test our cars out a little bit. It's the first time I'm taking the blue box out, so it's going to be some fun. I'm going to go do some deep mud holes with varying success and show you all around the park. When you first arrive at Loveday, you come through the gates, you drive down a fairly decent kind of couple of K drive in there, and you find the tavern, which was just pictured a second ago. And you go in, make sure you get registered. Don't just drive in without doing that. But when you do drive in, you'll get yourself a sticker. Pay your fees. You'll get told where to go camping, and there's some really good campsites down by the riverfront right now, all underwater. But don't stress, he's got some more cut above the waterline at the moment, so you can still go and play. But yeah, once you've done that bit, you can then go, like we did, in a group or on your own, down to the playground, which it isn't too far from the tavern. It's just a short drive. On the left-hand side here, you'll see the motocross track, or the where they drive the Can-Am cars. They'll actually do a hot lap for you in one of those things. Just to the right of this picture, you can see there's a grassy area with a kids' playground. A bit further up here on the right-hand side is the rally track where, under supervision, anyone can come out and drive an automatic or manual rally car. People of all ages, come and try the rally car thing. It's really good fun. Jake had a crack at it last time he was up here and he was absolutely stoked with it. Yeah, I thought he went really well. Crossing over the Can-Am track here, we all start heading down towards the playground where we can have a bit of fun. The playground is a man-made bit of four-wheel drive track with some big hills, some big dips, some big ruts. There's a big section of off-camber wombat holes, which is great fun for testing out your car. But you do got to be a little bit careful if it's been raining. There's a bit of water in there. Make sure you check the depth, or don't just plough headlong into it. Here's Brett showing us how it's done. Now for the cracking wheel lift, yes. Now I got to apologise for the wind noise out here. It was really windy with a bit of rain today, and you can hear it on all of the microphones, so I am sorry. Kim getting a decent bit of climb here, puts the lockers in and just nails it over the top. Nice drive, Kim. Here's the blue box giving it a fair bit of stick. Really the first time I'd ever tried this. This is Tom's first outing in the big silver dual cab, and he really acquitted himself pretty well. I thought he wheeled it really nicely. Here comes the boss and the stand-in Hilux until the battle rig is fixed. Having a quick go at the flex track, and I think we can all agree that the Hilux is not the best thing on there. Here's Brett making a big mess out of the flex track. I had to turn the sound right off for this because the wind noise was terrible. But he did think he'd show off a little bit and give everyone a bit of a mud bath while he was at it. Now, the 80 series has had a bit of extra stuff done to it since we were at Tarawi when you last saw it, and you can see a much bigger lift, lots of flex on this one, and he's got a bigger set of tyres on it too. Yep, give everyone a bath. Yep, that's nice. Yep. Thank you, Brett. The guy with the camera just next to you very much appreciates it. And now showing he wasn't really stuck at all, he was just digging the holes bigger. Yeah. Show off. Now, Kim was really keen to try this because he's just installed a locker in the front. That's an LOKKA, the constant one. Because last time we were out, he had a couple of issues with his lockers. And this is showing off how an IFS front-ended car really doesn't need to have as much flex as some of the bigger ones. If you've got lockers front and back, they will just quite happily crawl over things with little wheel lifts. Actually, to tell you the truth, it does flex pretty darn well for an IFS front-ended car. And I'd never tell him this, but I really quite like his car, Kim, the big 100 series. Kim finishing off with a big wheel lift just to be a bit of a show-off as well. I suppose that's what this track's about. I mean, who could possibly do better with wheel lifts than that? Oh, there's a back one. Oh, there's a front one. See that? Do it again. Hey! That really is no flex at all. And the only way to do things with no flex is to look for the line, if you have no lockers, is to look for the line where all four wheels stay on the ground. When you've got a tiny little car with very narrow track on it, it is a lot easier to go kind of in between or around the humps, which is what I started doing here.
Hey!
Take no notice of that. Here we have Tom again, first attempt at the moguls. He really struggled because he just tried to drive straight through, and with open wheel diffs really didn't have the stretch to get through at a crawl. Now with hindsight and a little bit of extra momentum, he might have taken a slightly different line, and I'm pretty sure that he had a second crack at this later on and nailed it.
Yeah, well, you can always grab a radio and spot him.
Now, in an independent front-ended car with no lockers, you'll see one tyre spinning and the other one sitting still in the front there. And this is a little bit of extra footage that Brody took, just up close and personal for the wheel lift.
Jesus Christ! Look at the grin on his face.
Really was a lot of fun. Tom doing a really cool climb here again. Now Brody taking his car into the first bit of deep water that we actually found. Brody's 105 might have a little bit of extra clearance to the IFS cars, but he's not lifted, and even though he's got a snorkel, he's still open wheel diffs front and back.
Here we go, mate.
It looks like his first attempt, he's just trying to crawl out of it, and unfortunately, he's actually getting the diff caught in the middle, and it's just lifting the tyres a little bit.
Scraping your diff, pumpkin. Diff, pumpkin. Give us some more.
Now what Kim is saying here is exactly right. The only way you're going to get over this is with a bit of momentum. Unfortunately, since he's already in it, he really needs to go mowing through with quite a bit of speed, and then you kind of risk doing a bit of damage to your car. So a wise move here where he gets it up and out and then gets a recovery happening.
Almost.
Now, it's not long after this that the one person in our crew who's been out more than anybody else at Loveday found out, and it can still happen to the best of us with a big lifted car, when he drove his car into some deep, deep mud.
Careful of that mud hole back there, it's a bit muddy. I'm not getting stayed out of this one.
If you listen really carefully, you can hear Brett having a crack. Unfortunately, he couldn't get enough traction to get out of it, and when he tried to reverse up out of it, it just got jammed on the big lip as it was dropping in. So Kim had to do a recovery and drag him backwards unceremoniously out of it because the car wouldn't run anymore, and we really couldn't figure out why.
He's coming out slow, keep going.
As it turns out, Brett, running a petrol, had actually got a heap of water up into the distributor, which isn't that uncommon with the SJ80.
Back wheel's nearly out, keep going.
But there was another problem, and we didn't see until we got it to the top of the hill.
It's all coming out of the bonnet now.
Yeah, that's up inside. That's
That thing you can see there, that's the exhaust. That has actually caught up when he's tried to reverse up out of the bog hole and folded up into the section where the coil is supposed to go, and then stop the motor from running because it's basically closed off all the exhaust.
Stop.
bugger.
Tasty. Oh yes. Yummy.
And you've got carpet.
Delicious.
Now the art of getting out. The art of getting out without making it look like you've had massive diarrhea. Go, let go.
Jordan.
All right. Well, victim one. We'll rip the exhaust off and go again.
And thanks to the lovely people at the tavern, we had a spot where we could pull up, give it a rinse, take the exhaust off so that it would be nice and free-flowing, clean out the distributor cap with a few of our own tools, and get it running again. Shortly after that, we had a bite to eat, and we headed over to the adventure track where Brett's son came out with his white 80 series and joined us.
There's the forward run short track.
I'm feeling two-wheel. When should I switch over?
And if you're looking for a bit of variety, a bit of variety in off-road.
At least you've got that option.
This is a good track to bring people out who haven't been up here before. Maybe not as confident with their cars yet. There's a bunch of different stuff you can do out here, and you cannot do it if you decide not to.
You got a pass on if you're looking.
It's not nearly as bad as it looks
Now, come to the forward drive.
on this camera. There are some things on this track which are good fun. Tail
This
hold
is the one
fun.
that we've been able to climb pretty much everything out of here, and I didn't even know about pressing the central lock button to actually be able to truly engage in four-wheel drive.
That's just showing off.
Matt, gotta get through there, eh? Let's find out. Where is he? Come on, Brett.
Now the four-wheel drive adventure track is peppered with little spots like this, which is man-made still, and you can quite happily go around if you feel like it, but it's a nice easy spot to try your car out for something a bit more gnarly, like these big wombat holes on the exit.
You gotta watch out for that front right bog hole.
adventure track is probably a couple of hours long for a first timer to go through and have fun with. So we've just gone some snippets of some the fun stuff. I think you should go and try it yourself and have some fun out there. Right now I'm going to let you just enjoy some of the fun that we had on the tracks.
Been down there before.
And just when you think you haven't had as much fun as you had in ages, you come out this beautiful plateau that looks over some lakes and find a couple of really wicked hill climbs. And this little patch is quite famous at Loveday. It's steep, it's rocky, it's scrabbly, and they call it three climbs. And this is where the big boys normally come out and play, and unless you're fairly brave or silly, you don't normally take unmodified four-wheel drives up here. Although, I mean, skilled drivers will be able to get up these tracks, at least the first couple of them, with a relatively unmodified four-wheel drive. But it's not something I'd recommend you do unless you have at least a little bit of experience under your belt, especially the harder tracks. This is Brett showing us how it's done. And the modified 80, this is one of the harder lines. It's probably the second line out of the three, and he makes it look damn easy. And the camera really doesn't show how steep these tracks are. This is Bronson again, with a live axle car showing us how the flex keeps all four tyres on the ground quite nicely. And you'll see this last bit, he has to give it a bit of stick to get it up the last little section because it's quite steep and scrabbly. So I thought, well, perhaps we'll take the little blue box down, give it a crack and see what happens. That ain't gonna work. Nope. Still not going. Oh shit, now I'm stuck going downhill. Alright, I need to get four wheels on the ground here. It's still not working. Oh crap, I'm stuck again. Shit. What is down there? Fine, I'll go down the bottom and I'll start again. Oh, you know, I'm stuck at the bottom.
Yeah, maybe.
You ever seen a red rag to a bull? Go, you little good thing. Come on. Now on your way back to camp, you'll see on the right hand side a sign that says sand dunes. There is actually sand dunes here at Loveday, but it does depend very much on the weather as to how hard they are.
I'm going back. This is too easy.
In truthfulness, this stuff was as hard as a rock this day because it was cold and wet, and it was really uncomfortable in this car. Yep, that's me. My back and kidneys are killing me at this stage. Ow. That's what it's good for. Go Tom. With the full driving component of the weekend done, we drove back down to camp, and you do drive past a lot of the campsites on the way back, and you will notice there's a couple of little bog holes on the side of the road. Some of them look little, they're not. Don't go in them, just trust me, it's really bad for your car. This is Old Shady, and right now this is all underwater. and unfortunately, it is part of nature, things flooding and that. But you know what? It's still operating at the moment. Go and check in with Bill at Loveday 4x4 Adventure Park. He does have some brand new campsites cut out, and they're not as good as the as picturesque as the ones on the river. But yeah, it's still awesome.
That pretty much concludes our Loveday trip. Fairly early in the morning, and I'm heading off, head up, and just turn down James a bit. And I've learned how to pack so I can see out the window, which is always nice. So anyway, thought I'd come up to the tavern to air up. It's a bit more respectful to the other campers. If I look a bit shaggy and a bit dirty, it's because it's been a bit wet and it's been fun. Anyway, now for the slow drive home.
That concludes the Loveday 4x4 video for Rock 4x4 and Red Dog 4x4, and I hope you really enjoyed the video. We took a couple of days to make this, and to be honest with you, you could spend a lot of time out at Loveday. It's a great place. There's lots of different things to do. You can hire jet skis, you can go for a hot lap in a Can-Am car, you can do the rally driving, you can just come up here and camp. You don't even need to be a four-wheel driving nutter for it. There's lots of great campsites down by the river, and when the water subsides, they will be available again. The tavern does great hot pizzas. They are licensed, so you can go and have a couple of drinks. There's loos and showers at the tavern. There's a playground for the kids to play on. So there's a whole bunch of really good things to come up here for. And if you come up and have a look on the board, there's a picture board here. You can see there's been a lot of fun across the entire park to be had, and Bill does a magnificent job in running it. If you ever do need assistance with things, they're quite often happy to help. So yeah, definitely come and check it out. A couple of hours from Adelaide, there's fuel not far away, and other groceries and stuff if you need them, only 10 or 15 minutes away. Really good spot to go four-wheel driving in South Australia. So it's time I collect my cameras. Come and see us at Rock 4x4, Salisbury Plains, South Australia. We do a lot of gear, suspension, we do recovery gear, we do 12 volt, and we really enjoy ourselves. We actually really love four-wheel driving, and everybody at the shop is a four-wheel driver. So if you do need something, come and see us. Follow me, Red Dog 4x4 on YouTube for more, and Rock 4x4 accessories also for a lot more new products and fantastic service. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and subscribe for more.